Hi, I think this new phone's video is all okay. Right, let's dive in. B1, all the B1 parts, so that's tail cones sprayed with a silver black mix. Tried to mix up my own gunmetal, but the silver was so strong. In the end it didn't look like black gunmetal, it just looked like slightly less silver. And then after that I sprayed Tamiya smoke, which is what it looks like right now. I might give it a slight discoloration of blue, and I still need to paint the inside. Might do that by hand. That instrument decal is very, very nice. So with almost zero work in the cockpit, you can make it look very, very nice with that simple decal that they give. I put it over a gloss grey. So still, obviously I'm still busy on cockpit stuff there. The grey that I sprayed inside there is basically just that so far. This part, the doors, I have closed off like that. The reason for that piece is because it can go in between there, but over there there's no space. So that is, it is not bad, but it's not good either. So I still need to ensure that it's really nice and flush. Probably also needs a little bit more sanding. So that is coming on. But most of the work, let's talk about this first. So these two nacelles, you've got to be a little bit careful. This is now, of course, the Airfix kit that I'm talking about. I was looking to see if there was a indication of which is left and right. If you haven't paid attention to or if you've clipped off and you can't see the part numbers anymore. I often do actually scribe the part number into it somewhere where it won't be visible, but I didn't in this case. And the difference is that when you fit the left and right pieces onto the wrong sides, they're very close and you can almost think that it works, but a little bit of a off-center gap. Normally they make the pins different or some sort of fit different. In this case, this little step is sort of the indication that it's on the wrong way, but very close. You can almost get that wrong. Now these have got that center piece in so far, and a little bit of work to get that in. And again, one of the sides fits in easily into this. I'll just show you on here, that slot recess, which is a bit longer on that side. You've got to test fit that slot recess and make sure that it can actually get in there properly. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get your halves together well. So I needed to use something to scribe it wide. I used the end of my circular file, small circular file. So they are both glued in. That's glued in with styrene glue, and then ensured that I test fitted it to that side and that side, made sure that it, dry fitted it, made sure that it actually went in properly, then glued it, then positioned it, and just let it dry nicely. So that part is in, but the 4 vanes, so there's the slots for the 4 vanes, that's next. I'm going to leave this just in that grey, that gloss grey that I've done. Now these 4 vanes sort of block off a lot of the view. When you look in there, you can see that they're going to block off some of it, but not all of it. And those vanes are not really that correct. I looked up a little bit of a picture of the intake vane layout, and it's not quite like that. Now if I show you that in there, it looks black, but it's not actually. If you look at it in the light, if you happen to hold it in a way that you can see, you can actually see straight back to the bottom. I've sprayed black there to try and make it less visible, and I'm pondering removing it. And one of the reasons for that is that when these are on, of course, you've got that as a blank off there. If I remove that, you at least have the ability to put something inside there, giving a little bit of a better exhaust impression if you happen to look down the tailpipes. And you can at the same time solve the problem of, I'm not going to be able to show this to you, but looking right through the engine into a black face there at the end. And it's easy enough to remove that, so I probably will actually just remove that. Slight pity that you lose the gluing strength of those surfaces, but I think looking up the tailpipes, even if I paint it black, I think it's so close, you know, it's so close to the end of the tailpipe, it will look a little bit odd. Anyway, these, so I've also been test fitting to see that the pins and if I start gluing, what sort of step I'll get there. And it certainly needs attention as I'm gluing, and I probably need to remove pins. That one definitely needs removing. This side is pretty good, so I'll start with this side, make sure that's all glued in well. That's once I've got all of those veins in, of course. So if you really wanted to, you can do a whole lot of super detailing and correct engine and vein layout on the inside there, but you're not going to see a whole lot of that. So anyway, we are getting there. That's sort of what will progress in the next week. You need to take it, you know, just take care with each section on this Airfix kit. There are sink marks there. That's obviously from the pin that will be on the inside there. That pin there. So wherever there's pins, you usually end up with sink marks. It's quite bad there. So actually I have a bit of filling to do as well. And then a lot of work on this. So before I glue these halves together, I want to show you this. So I have showed you the steel pin which goes through, which means that, you know, one would be able to put a little bit of a ding force onto that and it wouldn't break off. These are not glued in at the moment, obviously. But the thing that I've achieved now is where you can actually offset this a little bit and it will centralize. Both will work together once I've glued them on, because they'd be onto that steel pin. If I move them together, you can see. Now they don't centralize perfectly, so if I go that way, it sort of drops to there, push it down to there. So it's sort of good enough for what I will show you what I've done to achieve that. So unfortunately that little drum, or doesn't really matter, had its vanes at 45 degrees up, and I had to glue in that white piece and that one at the back of it into the 45 of this drum, and then build these things. That one is the better one, this one is a little bit too weak, so that when you do this, you get a bit of a centralizing effect. And that was quite a bit of a work, actually. All the rest of the pieces that you see glued in there are sort of just to brace and centralize these things. So the basic principle is just to provide a plastic pushback mechanism. And of course test fitting it and adjusting it the whole time, making sure the other half fits on so that you haven't gone too wide there. So if we just look at that one, so you can see there are movements where it doesn't really push it back that much, but it's okay. It's good enough for what I wanted. For what I wanted was that under normal conditions, no matter what happened, the aircraft would, it wouldn't tilt down. The weight of the horizontal stabilizer wouldn't tilt it down. You don't need to glue it in. You can demonstrate the all-moving tail plane. It's got a range of motion already greater, just with that limitation, they're already greater than the real aircraft would have. And it's a fairly simple mechanism. So I'm okay with that. Now, these, I'm going to push this on a little bit. You see that gap there? So I'm going to push that on even more, and I'll just test, I'll fit this again and show you. That when I actually push them on the way they're going to be glued on, it does actually touch the side over here such that it'll sort of hold a reasonable position there, and then if you move it right off, it'll sort of centralize back to there, get stuck there. So there's a little bit of friction. So I am going to be pushing it well in. It'll glue and it'll stay pretty much in that position. So it's not a perfect system, but it's good enough. You could do a bit better. I could devise a bit of a better one on my second go around, but that's pretty good. That'll get glued. I will leave the horizontal stabilizers off right till post painting. In fact, till right at the end of the aircraft, then they can get glued on. And if needs be, to be honest, you don't even really need to glue them on. So you'll be left with that. We'll just need to put tape around those, because even this is such a tight fit that you wouldn't want to be sort of messing that up with a bit of paint. So that part has come out, way better than just your standard kit build. Wings not yet done, but it will be done. What is that called? I can't remember. That paint on Mr. Surfacer type of stuff. So just to sort of test this, because I haven't really used that before, I did paint on twice there, and it essentially does absolute minimal filling. It's really for the smallest of remaining filling marks. I don't know how this, I haven't tested the sanding of this yet. Seems to sand pretty easily. But anyway, now I'm still going to have to fill with Tamiya filler. I just wanted to try that out since I had that. That was, I can't even remember which one this was. So yeah, still a lot of filling work on this model to make progress there. Now I have got a little bit of a surprise. How many minutes are we at here? 14 minutes. I have got a little bit of a surprise, both to me and to you maybe. Two kits that I got, quite different to my usual. And I'm not sure that I have any other kinetics. So this is kinetic 1/48th. The Reaper drone, and I haven't had kits of these before. So I was sort of, it wasn't something that was on my radar, and the Global Hawk. Now I just want you to check this. Where is it? Yes, look at that. Look at that size. So this 1/48th kit, an 83 centimeter wingspan. This is a huge wingspan on a 1/48th aircraft, but I'm going to show you this one first then. So you can get a little bit of an idea. I won't do a I'll do a review of these in separate videos. Very nice decal sheet. Now just look at how many countries use this Reaper drone. Look at all those country markings there. I haven't made up my mind which country I'll actually do. I won't go through the decals right now. I just want to show you the parts quickly. Quite nice moldings. 40 something centimeter wings, so these are each about 20 something centimeters long. Not bad at all. I'm quite looking forward to that kit, and this one is not that difficult a model. It carries actually says, was it 4 Hellfires and 2 paveways. Is that right? Where did I see that? For Hellfire. I think it's paveway there. I don't think I've even built a kinetic, so we'll see how the fit goes, but very interesting. Okay, I just want to move on to the other one and show you that. Those of you who have built kinetic or even built this, please do give me your impressions and your feedback. So this one is the simpler of the kits. How many parts has that got? 70, of which you would use all of that. One nice thing is you've got no canopy masking. This uses a sort of almost 1,000 horsepower turboprop engine, and I must say I actually very much like that. But wait till you see this thing. So this is 59 parts, 30 centimeter length and 83 centimeter wingspan. Look at that big fat fuselage, very, very nice. And look at those wings. Huge, long, but very nicely molded wings. So this one does not have any stores, does it? Oh, this one's decal sheet. Japan, Korea, USA. A bit of a simpler decal sheet. And no stores. I know almost nothing about these drones. It's not something I've ever researched or anything. But I'm really looking forward to doing this. So again, if you have built this, I briefly looked up one review online, but I decided to go for it and grab these kits, and especially this really large one. So that is quite out of the ordinary for me, both kit manufacturer wise and the nature of this aircraft. So that will be something interesting. Okay, I'm going to carry on with a bit of modeling. Happy modeling to you, and we shall chat soon.